Hi, so today we are here to understand UK and its education system and why UK is to be one of their preferred options when it comes to the education. Map of UK. So UK is always known for its popular destination for education, and UK is divided into four main domains. One is England, one is Scotland, one is Wales, and one is Northern Ireland, sharing borders with Ireland and is close to Europe. When it comes to the popular study places, what students just prefer is basically London, Manchester, Edinburgh, Glasgow, Bristol, Birmingham, and many more. I study in UK. So UK is known for its world-class education system and the policies made for the academics. The institutions are constantly ranked in the top ranking and the universities are in the top tier. Mostly you will see universities to be within 100 to 200 worldwide ranking. There are numerous of possible specialization option provided by multiple universities. So maybe ranging from commerce, humanities, arts, fine arts, sciences, and multiple more. The admission without IELTS is also possible for those who have or are belonging from a non-English speaking background and nations. The prices are quite affordable and reasonable when it comes to comparison of the education system of worldwide. Scholarships and bursaries are also one of the reason why students should prefer UK, as UK have multiple scholarship schemes and moreover have Commonwealth scholarships too for multiple countries, which becomes eligible. Master courses are at times up with paid internships, so you do get payments. There is a speciality about UK is that you can also get a bachelor's degree with a sandwich year program. This means that you study for 2 years, you work for a year, and in fourth year you again come back to the university and take your formal education and get your degree. The working opportunities are with part time it comes 20 hours for bachelor's and master's students, and in the time of vacations you can actually have a full-time uh, employment which is of 40 hours a week, which is again paid. Moreover to this, you get a post-study work visa for 2 years after your terminal degree, which can be further be renewed. And if you have 5 years elongated education plus stay, you are also eligible for permanent residencies. The types of degrees in UK, there are basically two main categories of university. The first is the traditional universities and the second are the modern universities. So traditional universities are old and ancient universities which are also known as red brick university. They hold quite prestige and are highly ranked. Specifically, they are research oriented universities and offers specialization in multiple domains. And if you talk about red brick universities, I say like University of Bristol, UCL, Glasgow University, University of Leicester, Durham, University of Birmingham, etc. And when it comes in modern university, the modern universities are mostly the polytechnical universities and the universities built post 1992. So say Bournemouth University, Coventry University, East London, Northumbria and Middlesex, and multiple more. Types of universities in UK. So UK is divided with two educational patterns. One is the Russell's Group, and these are the most highly acknowledged institutions of UK. And the second is the non-Russell's Group. So let's talk about Russell's Group. So in Russell's Group, there are 24 highly ranked universities which are publicly funded and are researched. Second, they were formally formed in 1994. The group was formed in 1994, headquartered in London. The establishment was in the favor of the government and the well being of the society and the parliament. The Russell's Group is also known as the British Ivy Leagues, which is equivalent to the prestige holding and the capacity towards with the US education system of Ivy Leagues. The universities are like say University of Manchester, Imperial, LSE, UCL, and many more. This is the entire list of the Russell's Group, which is 24. You can go through as per the screen. These are the universities which are represented by Russell's Group again with their logos. The type of degrees, the bachelor's and the master's, are the profound degrees what the students do prefer to take their education and degree from. The bachelor's degree is given in 3 years of the duration for multiple courses, and for few engineering courses are for 4 years. And multiple times you'll feel that 4 years degree is given by the Scotland region. There are a couple of bachelor program as mentioned with specialization are done with a sandwich year program where 2 years education is done in the university, 1 year of placement, and then again they come back to the university and take their degree. This is number one option. Number two option is they take with a study year abroad program. There, the students study there for 2 years. They work in an international setting with 1 year, and then again come back to the university with the last fourth year and get their degree from. Whereas when it comes towards master degree program, the masters are generally for 1 year program. Here, master's degree come with an industrial placement opportunity where you complete your 1 year of its education and you get 1 year of work permit. You get 1 year of paid internship given by the university. Following that, with universities in Scotland, you get an option that you get a 4 year or 5 years of integrated programs available. In integrated masters are also possible where you get a combined bachelor's and a master's degree earned. You get a 4 year degrees in England, and you get a 5 year combined degree in Scotland. Integrated programs are also available with a study year program or a sandwich year program, which can be seen from university to university and their policy system. If you are ineligible to apply directly, UK has three different pathway programs. First is the foundation, second is diploma, third is pre-masters. So let's see what's a foundation year. A foundation year program is a preparatory program where the students study for a year if either he is not qualified in their academics or is not qualified for his English proficiency examination. That means in IELTS, PT, or TOEFL, he hasn't scored an equivalent score, which has become the reason for him to study a foundation year program. This program is 1 year program, but upon completion of this program, you get permitted to the first year bachelor's degree program. So you get permitted to first year's bachelor's degree. Second is diploma. So in diploma, you complete 1 year in a college of that university, say Aston College. You study for a year and then you get promoted directly in the second year of the university. So your degree duration remains the same, which is say 3 years, but you get entry in the diploma, you complete your diploma, you get permitted to the second year program directly. So after the third year, you're going to get a terminal degree, which is going to be a final degree awarded. And likewise, if you are ineligible towards your master's degree, you are ought to do a pre-master's degree. So a pre-master's degree is also for those who are not qualified with their academics or English proficiency examination. So generally the length of the pre-masters varies from 10 weeks to 12 weeks of the program, which is actually done online. You are doing this online, sitting in your home, and you complete this 10 to 12 week program. So it's just one example. If the university starts in September, your pre-master's program starts somewhere around in June. You complete this program, and upon completion you get a direct entry in your master's degree program, upon which your visa is getting granted. Let's talk about the top-up program and the credit transfer programs, which is also one of the reasons why people do study there. So stopper program is for those people who have already completed their bachelor's degree and are looking forward to have one other specialization with accordance to their existing bachelor's degree. That means you have already completed a 3 or 4 years of bachelor's degree and you're wanting to study just a year to get a top-up degree program for a bachelor's degree. But you need to understand that students who are willing to go for post-study work visa, upon graduating from this top-up degree, you are not eligible for a post-study visa upgrade. Whereas when it comes to credit transfer, that means I person has completed a year in one university, say XYZ university, and you want to take up a transfer in another university. In this case, your educational duration remains the same, which is say 3 years in bachelor's. So you study 1 year in one university and you complete two other remaining year in your proposed university where you're wanting to get your final terminal degree certificate. The intakes. So UK is famous for its September intake. Be mindful that the Russell group for undergraduation is only open for September intake. But if the student is willing to go for an undergraduate degree to London or UK, it's certainly possible, but with non-Russell's groups in January, following with a smaller intake in May. So the main intake is the September where all universities are open. The limitations comes in January and May is handful. So if you're looking forward to recruit students, September is the best ideal criteria for undergrad. When it comes to master's degree program, so master's degree is available throughout the year, which is from September, January as well as May. So masters are always welcome, but bachelors are for Russell's group it's September. Other than that, you can apply for January and May intake as well. Just to add on, there are a couple of universities which also have April, May, June, July intake, which is quite small in number and are limited when it comes to having options of universities. English proficiency examination. So you'll need to understand that IELTS is divided in two main domain. One is your IELTS and second is IELTS given by UKVI. So UKVI is basically the UK visa. So your test papers are going to UK immigration border check and they are the one who actually be checking your examination. Please be mindful that if a student is wanting to do a foundational, a diploma, pre-masters or pre-sessional. Pre-sessional is only for those people whose English is poor. Pre-sessional. They are supposedly to be doing IELTS UKVI from non-English speaking nation. Okay. So you need to be mindful that when you will book the examination, you have to book through UKVI IELTS. It can be either be pen paper based or computer based. That is not a criteria, but it should be solely UKVI IELTS, where the student has, if even if has scored below average, UK is going to take you with the foundation diploma or a pre-masters or pre-sessional degree. Later on, you can complete the degree with the university. Please also be aware that they are not supposedly to be giving IELTS after a year if they have been to the foundation or a pre-masters or a diploma program. This means that only for getting admission for the first round or at the first stage is only important, and after going into the university or the college you don't require to give your IELTS or any other English language proficiency exam, as the university will be taking their examinations on their behalf. So even the students with say as low as 5 bands or 4.5 bands are also eligible for the same. Whereas if the academics is low, you can also be giving IELTS UKVI. Let's see the pattern on how IELTS, TOEFL, and PT is being measured under the same criteria, say B1, B2, C1, C2. Education system in UK has divided into subcategories where people from specific degree holding can be placed. So just for an example, this is just to give you example that if you are going to go for science degree, the degree level can be AAB to A2. But when it comes to say commerce, you can apply from A2 to B2. Don't get into the technicalities, but just be sure enough that how people coming from the B1, B2, C1, C2 categories are also welcome. The chart is being given in the PowerPoint presentation itself, so you can refer that when it comes to the student application. The entry criteria for bachelor's is minimum to be 55% in order to get universities, whereas mathematics and physics are important subjects when it comes to the engineering. For business, if you don't have mathematics as in your high school, it's absolutely fine. You need to have your high school diplomas or high school certificates or IGCSE or IB diploma into consideration when it comes to application. The entry requirements for the master's degree is slightly higher, goes up to 50% in average, which should be there in your undergraduate degree. Either it can be a 3-year degree or a 4-year degree. Please be mindful that if you're looking out for master's degree program, you need to have a bachelor's degree. Associate diplomas won't work in lieu of your bachelor's degree, nor even proper work experience letter could suffice your academic requirement. So for UK, academics is at the top. Please also be clear that people coming from non-English speaking background or natives country can also apply through MOI. MOI is basically medium of instruction, which is actually being given by the existing university or the university where the student has completed their bachelor's degree from, stating that this guy has completed their bachelor's degree in English. On the basis of that, the student is needing to give an interview. So once he or she completes the interview, the university is only the sole entity who can decide you whether you should be joining the university in that current intake or not. This option is very well also possible in bachelor's degree and also available in the master's degree. A third criteria is this, that if you have scored above 75% in English as a subject in your non-English native speaking country's institution, you can also apply for an exemption of IELTS, where you have to intimate us that this person is looking out for that. So this person is looking out for IELTS, PTE or TOEFL waiver or English language testing waiver. So we will be the one who will be applying to the university and will be getting the grant. The entry criteria for other courses are, say, a minimum of 50 to 55% in standard 12th, which is a high school. For foundation courses and foundation degrees, you need to be with 40 to 50% in terms of academics in high school. For pre-masters, it is minimum of 50%, which is required in your bachelor's degree program. And IELTS requirement should be UKVI for all these other programs. Please be mindful, IELTS, UKVI for all the above mentioned programs. Entry criteria for other courses. So entry criteria for other courses is this, that you need to complete a entire application. You need to have to prepare a complete admission packet which is similar to the bachelor's and a master's degree program. You are also supposing you to be paying 21 for one university and 26 pounds for set of 5 universities in a bachelor's degree program, where the deadline comes by 15th of January to be the first round deadline, and the clearance of admissions are available until mid to late June for the September intake. And if you are looking out for January intake, so UCAS, the portal is not available here. We have to apply through the direct admission or application process. Some of the universities famous are University of Bristol, Glasgow, Queen Mary University, Queen's University Belfast, University of Portsmouth, Brunel, University of Leicester, Liverpool, Stirling, Essex, Sussex, and many more. The undergraduate entry requirements are mentioned here. So you can follow. ये काटना पड़ेगा. So this here is an example of how undergraduate entry requirement of India is. So this is how the equivalency is taken care, where I was mentioning about A plus AA, triple A, double AB, A double B, triple B, and so on. So accordingly, you can see the university's entry requirement as per your own country, which you can also ask me or ask us by dropping us an email. So we will be happy to assist you there so that we can tell you about your academic and admission education system compared to the UK education system and the entry requirements. Same goes with postgraduate. This is how an Indian equivalency work, 2:1 and 2:2. And the first class degree. Here is Masters of Business Administration as a domain. So there are three categories if you talk about MBA. The first is a fresher MBA, the second is MBA for students who have working experience, and third is the mature entry MBA, which is also known as an executive level entry MBA. Freshers MBA who have with no work experience can also do an MBA, but the ranking is significantly low. Whereas students with an work experience need to have 2 to 3 years of work experience and should have a bachelor's degree in order to secure place. Whereas mature MBA is for those people who has more than 5 to 8 years of work experience, and the age should be minimum 25. The entry requirement states almost as similar. Apart from these requirements, the time schedule for UK for September intake is, so if you're belonging from a non-English speaking nation, you need to start your preparatory examination by April and should start your applications by April if you're looking out to go in September. But if you're looking to go in January, you need to start your IELTS coaching somewhere around in June and start your applications by July so that you can fly in January. For an English speaking native, you can ignore the IELTS coaching, giving the IELTS examination, and getting the IELTS result. To clarify, the IELTS results does take 15 to 16 working days as per their policies and the country of operations. The total cost and the source of finance. So you can have the entire list here present. So the cost to the study in the UK ranges from £12,000 and it can go as high as £16,000. That where it comes for master's degree program, the cost can be as low as 11 to £12,000 and can go up to say £35,000. But you can get a reasonable university somewhere between £18,000 to £21,000, as there are multiple universities in the same range. Plus, you also get an opportunity to work as a part-timer and full-timers during the vacation. Please note that the full-time vacation is somewhere between 3.5 months to 4 months where you earn full-time, and with part-time you can have as low as say £6,000 to as high as £9,000 to get subtracted in your total tuition fees. The living expense stays common. If you are wanting to live in London, your fees is going to be slightly be higher, say almost £13,500. But when it comes to apart from London, your living cost can be as low as £10,500. The source of finance can be self-funding through education loan, through employment, or through scholarships. Scholarships can be provided by governments, private institutions, private organization, or non-profit organizations. The post-study work visa is duly possible because 2 years post-study work visa is given to all the people completing their terminal degree, say the bachelor's degree or the master's degree. Apart from this, only PhD, MPhil, MRES, which is Masters in Research, are permitted to get the post-study work visa. So apart from this, any degrees are not qualified to get post-study work visa. This was implemented post June 2021, which is still in action. The counseling tips for UK. So kindly check with the student's background and the financial background, because in the visa we will be needing to show a 28 days old bank balance certificate and a bank statement, number one. Number two, if a student is pursuing their master's, please be mindful that the UK's norms are getting changed from post January 2022. So spouse visa is getting cancelled from UK. So no spouse or the dependent visas are allowed on the basis of the main student applicant. Third, if the student has scored low in their academics, say 12th or undergraduate degree, that's nothing to worry. We can definitely process it. Fourth, you also need to understand that the student have never got a tuberculosis in their lifetime, because if the student has tuberculosis, the visas will get upfront rejected and won't be able to claim any sort of medical discharge or payments medical insurance from the country. If the student is looking out to study in a high ranked university but their academics are significantly low, there are a couple of partner universities like Kalpan where you can study your foundation degree or a pre-master's or a pre-sessional degree following up with your master's degree program. So don't say no if their academics is low and still is an aspirant to go to a high and top-notch university ranking. People coming for undergraduate degree, if the academics are low, should always be proposed with foundation degree. If the students are opting for a pathway program during their undergraduate program, should always be welcomed with 1 year entry, either in a foundation year or a diploma or a pre-sessional degrees, respectively. You should also suggest them that there are a couple of placement agencies and placement cells available in the university section who help you get the job. You will get a 2 years of post-study work visa, which becomes a attracting point for most of the clients, and should always mention about living in UK for 5 years can grant them a permanent residency, and going up further, living further in UK can also opt for a citizenship year program. UK is quite safe and the education system is secured. Going up with their economy is at growth stage. You can also guide student if the student is looking out to study their degree online is also a possible option where student can study online with the same university and designation. Apart from this, you should also note that UK has significantly established their universities in Singapore, in Dubai, and in Switzerland, where the university has the same teaching standards and the patterns available. So you can get the same degree in affordable rates in these places where the education and the teaching patterns still belong to the very own institution. So people having budget issues or affordability issues can always be granted with these particular options. Thank you once again.